Boreal forest is the biggest intact forest left on Earth. So far, we've already lost 80% of primeval forest. This is our last chance to conserve something big. So let me tell you what is happening in boreal forests. 1. Climate change. Boreal forests have the potential to hit a tipping point this century. Boreal forests are one of the ecosystems most affected by climate change. The temperatures in the Arctic and boreal domains are getting warmer at rates as high as 0.5 Celsius per decade, and they are expected to increase up to 6 to 11 Celsius higher by 2100. Likewise, climate zones in boreal forests are moving northwards 10 times faster than the tree's ability to migrate. 2. Biodiversity loss. Boreal forest structure is becoming homogenized and simplified because of intensive forest management. Companies harvest all kinds of trees within an area and replant with only one economical tree species. The reduced structural variability and tree species diversity causes habitat loss and degradation. Accordingly, forest ecosystems can be less resistant to future disturbances such as climate change. 3. Zoonosis. Did you know that the current pandemic comes from deforestation? Intensively managed boreal forests can also be the place where epidemics occur. That's because forest harvesting significantly alters biodiversity, ecosystem function and services. Furthermore, natural reservoirs enter human habitation, changing their traits and transmitting viruses even further, resulting in pandemics throughout the last decades. Likewise, boreal forest is facing a major crisis to sustain its ecosystem. Boreal forest crisis. Are we prepared for these issues? Unfortunately, we are still managing boreal forest with an even age management and clear cutting that aims to maximize economic return. Earlier research has also shown that clear cutting can have negative effects on forest ecosystems through the erosion of the soil organic layer and reducing soil nutrients and biodiversity. Policy has been modified to leave retention trees to reconcile the often conflicting goals of timber production, biodiversity conservation, and providing ecosystem services. But there is still too much focus on economic sustainability rather than ecological values. Many clear-felled areas can fail to regenerate naturally. Seedlings cannot easily compete with shrubs and deciduous plants for light and nutrient availability in a clear-felled area, and climate change makes things even worse. How do we solve these issues then? Natural disturbance-based forest management is one of the solutions. What is natural disturbance-based forest management? Dr. Stockdale defined that natural disturbance emulation is based on the idea that by emulating the attributes of natural disturbances, so what is different with current forest management regimes? Current systems focus on individual trees, patches, and their close surroundings. But natural disturbance-based management considers the variability of forest habitat structures at multiple spatial scales, from microsites to landscapes. This is based on the hypothesis that by mimicking natural tree mortality patterns and forest structures at multiple scales in forest management, it is possible to maintain or restore key ecological structures. Let me give you an example from our research project, MISA. MISA, Managing Innovative Silvicultural Alternatives. The MISA researchers have been paying attention on what to harvest and what to leave to promote natural-like habitat structure, dynamics, continuity, and connectivity in the eastern Canadian boreal forest. In 2003, the MISA experimental design with 6 sites, younger and older stands, and silvicultural treatments, clear-cut, seed tree, 3 variants of shelterwood, and unmanaged, was established by the Canadian Forest Service in Mont-Valin and in the North Shore regions of Quebec. With the evaluation of ecological consequences in post-harvest forests, we expect to develop a natural disturbance-based management for black spruce boreal forests. Currently, Sang-Hyun Kim is evaluating these silvicultural alternatives on conifer regeneration and soil microbiome to achieve successful natural regeneration and conserve soil ecosystem in natural even-age black spruce forests. Do we have other options in a catastrophic climate scenario? For the catastrophic climate scenario, we may need to abandon current management approaches and design completely new alternatives, such as genetically modified plants in productive forests. Next, we can rapidly increase the forest reserves to let nature recover with in situ adaptive processes. To avoid the catastrophe, we should maintain discourse on silvicultural alternatives and approaches to sustainable forest management that provide resilience and adaptive capacity in a drastically changing Earth.
We must face the possibility that intensive forest management with climate change could ruin the forest sustainability. Therefore, we should urgently adopt forest management approaches to balance economic and ecological values in a context of climate change.
Forest is our health. Let's reflect on the relationship with nature to prevent the further pandemics.
Everything needs to change, and it has to start today. Thank you.